Good evening. Here again for another installment of It Began at the Cabin. This is White Witch 110. Hi, Nicole. Where's Abigail? I canceled the day so that we can spend it together. Scott is smiling. I have no fucking clue. What? He is puzzled. She ran out the door. I don't know what happened last night after I seen her, but shit is in her head. It's not in the right place. She thinks you're only interested in her because you want to get it on with a fan. Where did she get that idea from? He's confused. I don't know. Like I said, she was fine when I seen her last night. This morning she's talking nonsense about every woman she knows has men knocking down their door to date them, and she always gets hurt. Nicole looks at Scott helplessly. I don't know what to do or to say to her right now. You have no idea where she went. Her car is outside, so she didn't go far. That's when it hit him. I know where she is. I'll try and find out what's going on for you. He turns to leave, then turns back. Nicole, you know I would never hurt Abigail. I want to make that clear. I like her, I really do. He gives her a hug and makes his way down to the gazebo. There Abigail is sitting, staring out over the rough water of the lake. He quietly saunters over to her. Hey, he says quietly. Hi, is all Abigail says. Can I sit down? He motions towards the cushion beside her. Sure. There's no expression on her face. What's up? What do you mean? I just came from the cabin. Nicole's pretty upset. She doesn't know what she did to make you react like you did. Scott explains to her. Abigail sighs. She didn't do anything. It's just me. I've been overthinking things as usual. He is cautious with his next statement. Abigail, I don't think of you as just another fan. Abigail turns her head to face him. I admit when I first met you at the concert, you were just another of my fans, but it's not like that now. He gently touches her arm. How is it now? Why has it changed? There is a demanding tone in her voice. I've gotten to know you over the past few days. There is a sense of loss for something he's never had, if she doesn't believe him. Abigail says nothing. She only gazes at him, lost in more thoughts. Please believe me, Scott pleads. You know, in my life thus far, I've been lied to more times than I have fingers and toes. Every single man said the same thing to me. I realize I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm good with that. I never actually want it to be. But there are days, and all hurts just the same. I don't have any intention of hurting you, Abigail. He continues to look at her. I wish I could believe that, and I really want to. Abigail debates with herself as to whether she should admit to him all her fantasies. Scott rises to leave, thinking there is no use in pursuing her at this point. Abigail firmly places her hand on his wrist, causing him to sit back down. She takes a deep breath, placing her words in the correct order. Give me a moment, please. He agrees, turning himself to her on the cushion. You have no idea the thoughts I've had since I first heard your voice. No, believe me, you don't. There's a pause. The feeling that has grown for you inside me came from here. Abigail pointed deep within herself, not to her heart. It's in my gut. I know that's not romantic and fancy, but that's where it is, where it came from. I sat in my room night after night, listening to you sing of passion, your passion, wishing so much that I could be the person you were directing that to. I wrote poem after poem to you, pouring out my emotions on paper, just for you. Abigail goes silent again for only a moment. Turning her head downwards, she continues. I'd fall asleep thinking of sharing your bed, feeling all that passion cascade over me, losing myself in your kisses, then to realize that wasn't going to happen, causing me anxiety beyond belief. There's a panic that rises within me, desperate to see you, hear you, and maybe even speak or touch you. Scott speaks softly. But I'm here now, Abigail. You have felt my kisses. You have touched me. More than physically, Scott. She doesn't look up. Emotionally? Yes, you have. And I'm not just saying that. You have to believe me. Or maybe you still don't. Abigail gives a quick glance in his direction. Is he telling her the truth? I don't think I could handle it if you weren't telling me the truth. Then again, I can't miss out on a chance of being with you. It's a double-edged sword. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Because sometimes I'm not even sure if I make sense. Tears form in her eyes. I think I understand. Either way, you need to find out if what you have been fantasizing is exactly what I'm like. I will live up to your thoughts and dreams. Scott isn't sure if this will appease her. Yeah, I think that's it. That also makes me scared to find out that you aren't. Then how will I go on from there? Abigail admits openly. I don't think you'll have to worry about that. Scott, I would be devastated. Do you understand? Yes, I do understand. They gaze into each other's eyes in search of a resolution. Oh my God. Abigail blurts out. What? Scott is patient with her. I need to make this clear. She swallows. I've never ever felt for a man the way I do for you. It's as if I can't breathe without you. I would chase you to the ends of the earth to make sure I have time with you. Her words were overpowering to Scott. He has never met a woman to express such depth of emotion like this before. All the others were superficial, empty relationships, except for one other. Has he gotten himself too far in that he can't get out? Does he want to get out? Do you want me to give you some time? He politely inquires. I don't know. Listening to her voice is heartbreaking. Come on, I'll take you back to the cabin. Without thought, Abigail follows him, taking his arm. Inside the cabin, he takes her up to her room for a rest. Quietly, he closes the door and returns downstairs. What happened? Nicole is concerned. She's in love with me, Scott simply states. She poured her heart out to me. Every word she said admitted she loves me without a shadow of a doubt. Abigail would walk with me to the ends of the earth. She'd never leave my side. Scott feels a tear in his eye. Wow. I knew she had feelings, but wow. My cousin is a loyal, loving woman. She deserves someone who will appreciate that. Nicole looks at Scott, wondering. Scott has nothing to say. What can he say? This is something beyond him. Let her sleep. Abigail needs rest. I think she's been through a lot lately. I believe there's something she hasn't told you. I just don't know what it is, but there must be a guy attached to it. You're giving up on her. Nicole is irritated. I never said that. I'm just saying she needs her cousin right now, not me. I'll be close by, don't worry. When she's ready to talk to me, I'll be there. Scott turns and leaves to the apartment. Once up in the garage, He stares aimlessly out the window towards the cabin. What has he done? He allowed himself to plunge into the beginning of a relationship he won't be able to sustain. Crazy thing is, he doesn't care, and he doesn't want to let go of this woman he has only known for a week. She has reached in and grabbed his soul, taken possession of it, and he won't have it any other way. Sunday arrives, and Abigail's dad is back in town, spending much-needed time with his daughter. But he sees there's something bothering her. Abigail, what's going on? Something bothering you, honey? He asks her. I don't know, Dad. I've fallen in love with someone I actually hardly know. All right, he listens. Back home, I left a bad relationship behind to come here. Did someone hurt you? Nick is concerned. Emotionally, yes, she admits. You're here now, and you don't have to go back. You know that, he points out to her. But I do, Dad. I have to go back and face it. Break it off for good this time. Then I can think about coming back here to live. She's finally opened up. The following 2 days are spent with her father on his boat. They remember old times, and good memories are plentiful. 2 days without Abigail have given Scott time to think. He can't ignore the fact he needs to be with her before he leaves for home and his other life. Upon returning, Abigail keeps her distance from Scott. Thursday afternoon, Nicole overhears Abigail on the phone. Yes, another week. I understand. I'm good with that, no problem. She hangs up. Hey there, what was that all about? I'm staying another week, but don't get all excited. I still haven't decided about living here permanently. Nicole hugs her cousin. I'm so happy. We didn't want you to go yet. She smiles. Scott has been missing you. He's been spending time by the lake. Please talk to him. I know what you've been thinking. It isn't how he feels. Yeah, I should speak with him. What are you going to say? Nicole is interested. I'm not sure. Abigail leaves the cabin for the lake, contemplating how she should approach the subject without being blunt. Sure enough, he is there, sitting quietly in the gazebo, gazing out across the water. Hi, she softly says. Scott moves towards her voice. Hey, you're back. Did you have a good time with your dad? Yes, it was nice to connect again. We had some positive conversations. Abigail takes a seat by his side. Was I the subject of any of them? He inquires. Yes, as a matter of fact, you were. Should I be happy or kick my ass back to Toronto? His voice is melancholy. No, you're good. Abigail watches him, waiting for her to continue. One thing I learned speaking with my dad was to go after what you want. Don't miss a chance to be happy. If my passion is engulfing every thought I have, it's time to go for it. Scott begins to smile. Am I still your passion? Peering into his eyes, she replies, Yes, that has never changed, and it never will. I told you nights ago how I feel. There is a necessity inside me that can't be disregarded anymore. Although to you, this appears to be a short time, to me it's been 2 years. Scott raises his eyebrows. I told you the first time I heard your voice, before I even seen you, I fell in love. There, she said it, straight out told him. Love. What is his response going to be? He adores her, but does he love her? Can he? I'm expecting a response, Scott. Your silence is not the response I was hoping for. Abigail continues looking at him. If we're being honest, I never expected to hear love. He takes a note of the shift in her body. He quickly adds, but I'm not afraid of it. Abigail is concerned. What do you mean by not afraid? He quickly thinks, having only met a person a week ago, it doesn't scare me to hear you say you love me. Is this a good save? He isn't sure. I suppose most men would run hearing that. I'm glad you're not. She places her hand on his. Scott feels like a jerk. Maybe she was right all along, that it's just a fan in the hay thing. Abigail senses the change in the atmosphere around him. She pulls her hand back, and that old feeling cascades over her again. Listen, forget it. Forget I said anything, okay? I'm just a silly little girl with a big imagination. Abigail gets up to leave, but Scott catches her arm. Don't go. Please don't leave. His mind is a whirl of thoughts and words, all frantically attempting to become cohesive. You don't owe me anything, she says, dejected. Scott is desperately trying to form at least a sentence that will make sense without harming her. Then suddenly he knows what to say. These past 2 days have felt like the longest I've ever experienced without you here. All I've done is think about you. There hasn't been one moment when you have left my thoughts. I truly adore you, Abigail. He takes hold of her waist and draws her to him. He can appreciate her apprehension. His hand slides to the nape of her neck, gently realigning the position of her head, so his kiss will connect with the fervor she is anticipating. In that second, Abigail melts into him and offers her entire self to him. His desire is distant to begin with. Gradually, non-committal kisses become rich with a yearning to grasp the opportunity. Scott wants her in his bed. I need you, Abigail, he utters between kisses. But I can't have you with your father in the next room. Abigail pulls back slightly. She hasn't thought of that. Then come to my bed. Scott grins approvingly. Tonight. His voice is insistent. Yes. Abigail exhales. They continue smooching under the lights of the gazebo, waiting for the lights in the cabin to go out before they move inside. It's no one else's business. There will be questions enough in the morning by Nicole and possibly her father. Abigail opens the kitchen door, then gently closes it behind them. Arms around each other, they continue upstairs without a sound. Her hand quivers faintly on the doorknob to her room. Without turning the lights on, she guides him to her bed. They remain embraced, tongues intertwined, encouraging their swelling passion to increase ever higher. There is a slight struggle to disrobe and turn down the sheets. Naked by each other's side, their hands travel along the contours of their bodies. He is finally with her. Soon she will be experiencing what she has only fantasized. Hot-blooded caresses beneath crisp cotton sheets, tongues penetrating with purest intentions, their arms continually embracing during this exceedingly charged moment. Abigail responds to Scott's rhythm, harmonizing to the rise and fall of his body against hers. This exceeds any fantasy she has amused herself with. My God, he is an intense lover. Abigail rests in the crook of Scott's arm, having not only quenched her curiosity, but fallen more in love with this man. She is gently lulled to sleep by the sensation of each breath Scott takes under her cheek. The warmth of his chest is exceptional. The morning sun shines into Abigail's room, waking them both. Morning, babe. Scott blissfully greets her. Morning. I guess I should shower and get on my way, he says. The shower's in there. She points to a closed door in her room. Without hesitation, Scott slides out of bed and walks to the washroom, leaving Abigail to her thoughts. He is really here. It's not a dream this time. She smiles broadly and wraps a satin robe around herself. Scott peeks out from behind the door. Is it okay if I use a towel on the back? Yes, it's fine, Abigail replies. Scott grins. Are you coming to join me? I think I could. Abigail strolls over to him, allowing the satin robe to fall seductively from her body. Behind closed doors, made more sensual beneath a stream of soapy water, they reignite. I think we shall leave it there, and we will carry on with the story tomorrow. I hope everyone has had a good Monday, and I hope that your Tuesday is a pleasant one. It's still kind of cool up here in Ottawa. We keep hoping for warmer weather, but it's not listening to us as of yet. I believe we have rain in the forecast for the next 2 days, but we'll see if that happens. To my YouTube family, thank you for coming by for another installment. There's a few more to come. Anybody new to the channel, please do feel free to check out my other videos. If there's any there that tickle your fancy, please give it a thumbs up. Drop me a comment. Share any of my videos out if you think someone would be interested. That's always appreciated. While you're here, consider becoming a subscriber. And if you do, remember to click the notification bell so that you'll know the next time that I upload. So as always, have a great rest of your evening. And until the next time, ciao for now.
I believe that the Amish aren't allowed to have phones, so that's
No.
surprising. This
Sassy.
is a modern
Sassy pants.
This thing can do everything. Track your heart rate. It can see your fitness levels. You have a bunch of things called apps, right? And inside of the device, instead of touching a mechanical button, it's actually
You're crazy, Giz.
which is incredible. Wow. Would you like to see how it works?
Get him, Waverly. Hey, sassy, no biting. You big girl.
So this device, you can call anywhere in the world, but because we don't want to spend
Get up in there.
Your family back home, we're gonna call America. Go ahead and hit that green button.
Pearl. What?
Ready? Hello?
What's in there, Pearl?
Can you hear me? Yes. This went from outer space.
Can you fit in there?